And let's continue with this. Let's fix some things which I seem to be missing. For example, those legs shouldn't have this kind of bumps in this area. So you see from this view we have some bump, and we will just move it very lightly until we fix this bump. Also, we have to look for this kind of bumps in the front legs especially. They're pretty important because they're much more visible and much more prominent. I will put this as a little bit bigger muscle, and most of the time you should do this. So the muscle goes here, and then there is a kind of a thing where the other muscle is going, and so on and so on. You know, it's, yeah, I can't explain it even in my own language, so what about the English? You know, it's not possible. But the thing is, if you know human anatomy, if you learn it, if you study it, if you make studies, it's very important. You cannot learn anatomy without drawing or modeling it. Modeling, of course, is much more important. I mean, I learned anatomy by modeling mostly. Before that, I was studying anatomy by drawing, but it was not that effective. When you have to model a muscle, you have to know it from every angle possible, and that is learning. That's real learning. If you're just drawing it, you can draw it from one side and it will be fine, but yeah, you know. So let's connect the legs, the back legs and the body. I think this will be fine. So merge down. I'm going to the upper subtool and merge down. Okay, now let's Dynamesh it. Let's see if something goes completely wrong here. Not quite. Let's Control Z to see. Oh yeah, we lost a little bit of detail, but so let's do this. Dynamesh and 88. If we don't want to lose detail, we'll go to, for example, 150. It will be a bit too much. Let me see how much. Oh no, it's 600 something polygons, which is fine. It's completely good if it's below 1.5 million, for example. Why I'm saying 1.5 million, it's not exact, you know, 1.5 million, but kind of beyond that. Especially Dynamesh is in my computer, especially because my computer now is pretty old, and you say, okay, don't you have money to change it? Yeah, I have, but I kind of work with it all the time, so I don't have a lot of time to change it, although I love to assemble my machines. This is one of my pleasures, to research, to buy a processor, cooling of the processor, RAM and motherboard and everything, and then to assemble them easy, completely alone, just me, myself and the computer, very carefully to assemble it, then to install Windows, to install my programs. This is such a pleasure. I'm just very happy when I'm doing it. But still, now I have 2 kids. One is still a baby, and I have a lot of work. I have to make this course, and if I install the new computer, make it, it will be on the place of this one in the same box. So the other components I will sell, for example, or whatever. But the thing is, I wouldn't be able to work until I install all my programs, make all the settings, and even then there's a risk that something goes wrong, and yeah. So for now, I will stick to this computer. I will not upgrade. But later we'll see. So here we'll make bumps. Not bumps, but kind of folds. I think the dogs have this kind of folds in there because those fleshes here are pretty much very close to each other, and their skin is crumbling. And it's a nightmare, you know. It's such a nightmare when the dog sits. Yeah, you know I'm joking, of course. You know I am. Let's make this flatter. Let's flatter it. Okay, here in the top I won't do this because I think that it's connected to the spine and it won't be that sharp transition there. So I won't do it. We'll put this here. Yeah, I feel a little bit uncomfortable doing this area here. So hopefully you feel uncomfortable a little bit too, but we have to do it. So don't worry, it will not be that visible in the final render, hopefully. Or it will be, I'm not sure, because I haven't done it yet. The final render is ahead of us, much ahead of us. So next thing I want to do is probably paint the eyes. Painting the eyes will be a good thing to do. First let's make this. I don't want these places to have such a indentation. Yeah, probably we should look at references, but I'm too lazy to open one. And that's that's a bit of a not good thing, you know. You should always work with references, especially with things that you don't know. And I'm not exactly a super good dog modeler, although I'm pretty happy with the result we have now. But I'm not specialized in this, if we can say so. I'm better in human anatomy, so I should look always for references. And if you are not as good in human anatomy, you should always look references for that too. I, even myself, am looking for references for human anatomy sometimes, even me. So yeah, I will make a little bit smaller details. Then the nose, we can make just little holes. Yeah, we don't have enough geometry here in the nose or in the face itself for very fine detail, but we have enough for some detail, which is fine. And when we paint it, it will be completely good, I think. Yeah, it's looking pretty good, I would say. I would say there are few dogs in the internet that I've researched, you know, that are looking as good as this one. So we have to be proud with this. You too, because you're watching this and you've seen how I made this with just a sphere. Yeah, from just a sphere. It's pretty good. Hopefully you learned some things, even if I'm not super well explaining about the dog anatomy. You know, the chest have to be pronounced or put in front, and then the legs are coming a little bit on the angle and then down, and then you have this kind of things. You have to be careful, and then down, and we have this pose. And the pose, you see, they have this kind of sharp things, and they look good. Also here we have them. I will even pronounce them a little bit more. Yes, and that's fine. Then we have from the bottom, we have, you know, this, then we have this, we have this, and this and this, those pillows, and we have the same on the front. Of course, this is not mandatory to do, but still, you know, the paws of the dogs, everybody knows them, so why don't we do them? Sometimes we just have to do things for our pleasure, and I kind of love doing animals. Yeah, I realize that now. I love doing animals. I love making them in 3D, I mean, not doing them in, you know, yeah, don't think about this, you know. Just concentrate of what I'm really saying. I love to model animals. So it's fine. Although I'm not super good at it, most of the, no, not that I'm not good, you know, you always can be good if you just watch enough references and pay attention to some general things about the shapes, about the overall, how do I say it, the overall silhouette of the character. If you pay attention to that, you will be okay, even if you never did it before, because animals are a little bit more forgiving to make than humans. We all the time see humans, and it's very difficult, also in the mirror, it's very difficult to make a believable human. But believable animal is not that difficult, and you saw that. We just make that for not more than 2 hours, which is a great timing, I think. Let's make the eyes. We have to paint them. Let's see what color. Okay, we're bringing this, and this is an eye of the tiger, or yeah. So you notice this, what's visible here is the retina, the sclera or the iris, whatever. This is the human equivalent of the human thing, and then the rest of the eyeball is white. So this is very big, and it's almost taking the whole eye area. So let's make something like this here. Let's see where to make it. Okay, where is the dog? Here it is. Okay, dog. Okay, our eye, although it's not very ready, I saw that now, we have to have a much bigger upper eyelid, much more in the front, and also this corner of the eye, the inner corner of the eye, should be a bit more pronounced. And let's do it. Let's rotate it a bit to see what's going on. It's not very good. And inside the corner of the eye, we'll have this kind of thing, which is in dogs is black. And also the eye itself will go deeper, and this thing will make sure that the eye looks more round. Okay, and here we will make the thickness of the whole eyelid consistent. It shouldn't be thinner in some areas and thicker in the other areas. It's not exactly a good thing. Okay, more pronounced eyebrow. I'm not sure about the eyebrow. Let's see here. It's not very visible. I'm trying to see some silhouette of the eyebrow to be sure, but we don't have, so we can start making the eyeball when I'm done with this. Though, so from the side view, it's not looking good because it should be more like a triangle. And let's see, and now it's kind of like triangle, but we have to fix it. Triangle, straight triangle, and then this should go back. Yeah, I think we have something good now. I'm not completely convinced though. This should go down. I'm trying to make this more round. Okay, I think it's round enough now. So let's go to this. Let's Control D to add subdivision and mask a big round area which will be kind of this big. So this area we will paint black. We will ask why. I won't tell you. We'll just paint it black. Not exactly black, probably it should be a little bit like this. Okay, fill object. And now we will reverse the mask and paint the other area a little bit of dirty reddish kind of color. And now we are okay with this, and we can start paint in this kind of orangish color. Let's try that with the alpha brush or just standard brush with RGB on and ZAD off, and just do this. Try to go almost to the end of the black area, but not quite to the end, and leave this kind of a border, black border, which is jagged, which is here. Okay, and in the middle, don't worry about the middle, we can do whatever. Then I will get one more reddish color and just add a little bit, because we have to have variety. It shouldn't be one color only, it will be boring. Then we will add a bit more of this kind of color in this area. You can see it, it's here. Maybe it's darker even. Okay. Then I will add, as always, on the eyes, a bit of a very bright, maybe even brighter, color in the bottom area. And then I will add this kind of a black big thing in the middle. Let's make it really black, it will be better. And it's not, I think, exactly round in dogs, I'm not sure. I cannot see it very clearly. But with also this kind of black, I will just do a little bit with very tiny pressure of my pen, because I'm working with, of course, with the Wacom pen, and you should too. Wacom is the best. And then we will have this. Let's place a toy plastic material on it. So M, fill, RGB, and then go back to basic material, turn on the dog, make it not so black, and what? The dog is very, very curious. It's like, what's happening? Where am I? It's very, wow, what's here? But we will fix that, of course. How? We are missing the shadow that the upper eyelid is throwing on the lower eyelid, and we will make that by masking this position here. We'll mask, we'll make with control click, just feather the mask a little bit, mask more on the top area, and then of course we will reverse the mask, and it will look odd. Without the reversing the mask, it looks cool. We will reverse the mask, go to brush, and go to eye again. I'm not sure where should we go. Auto masking is not exactly where we should go. Let's move this a bit and try. It was down here somewhere. Surface? No. Alpha and texture? Yes. Polypaint mode 3. So on alpha and texture, polypaint mode 3, select this color and just drag, and it will just multiply itself over the other. Control H to hide the mask, and then just make it like this. I just deleted the mask, and now our dog is looking much more calm, I think, with this fake shadow that we have made. Yeah, it's pretty good, because otherwise the eyes doesn't look right if you don't make this fake shadow. And now our eye is looking good, and the next video we should probably already paint the guy and we will be completely okay. So yeah, see you in the painting video of the dog painting. Yes.